Hello everybody, welcome to the video. Today we'll be focusing on the newest defender, Alibi, coming with Season 2's Operation Parabellum for Rainbow Six Siege. Alibi is a 3-speed, 1-armor defender, and is the first operator in Rainbow Six Siege to be immune to Pika's advantage. In fact, I'd go further and say she reverses Pika's advantage, all thanks to her gadget. The Prisma is a ball that can be thrown much like a grenade that deploys a 3D hologram of the operator, but it will only deploy the hologram if it has enough room to unwrap. The decoy is a stationary hologram of Alibi aiming down a submachine gun. Enemies that shoot or touch the decoy are marked for the next few seconds, just like Jackal's gadget in action. Enemy drones can still drone you out, so it's a good idea to hunt down as many drones as you can during the preparation phase. Glass is a strong counter to the decoys, as his sight only highlights Alibi and not her decoys. The decoy can be taken out by destroying the unwrapped ball at the base, either by shooting it or with Twitch's drone. Thatcher's ability, however, does not destroy the gadget, but disabling it like Pulse's cardiac scanner. The base is what enemies most focus on distinguishing if it's a decoy, so keeping it hidden from view behind furniture or a deployable shield is essential. Stand on the decoy and the hologram disappears. Step away from it and it reappears. This mechanic forms the counterstone of Alibi's gameplay, as it will be demonstrated in the following gameplay. Here are a few good tips. Always make sure the first thing your enemy sees is a decoy, no matter where said enemy is coming from. In this clip, Bomb Room B has 2 entrances, so I plant 2 decoys to aim each one, keeping both of their bases hidden behind the sofa. Bomb Room A has only 1 entrance, so I plant my last decoy behind the pool table. Then I return to the first room and stand between my 2 decoys. This way, I am always the second Alibi they see, no matter where they come from. Strength in numbers is the name of the game with Alibi, as the probability of your enemies pinpointing the real you decreases with additional decoys. This is a hard limit of 3 Alibis or 2 decoys. If you use all your decoys in the same room, the enemy will see 4 Alibis and immediately infer that one among them is you. Therefore, only use 2 decoys in your vicinity to keep the enemy guessing if the real Alibi is nearby. Back to the clip. The enemy sends a drone through the right entrance and uses it to scan to spot the real me. I shoot the drone. Now the enemy has seen 3 Alibis and knows the one in the middle is the real deal. I move to take the place of the left decoy to aim at the right entrance, since that is where the drone came from. If the enemy were to now scout the room, they'd see the Alibi in the middle is gone, and they'd determine that whether I've left the room or taken a decoy's place. And if so, which one? Now here is how she counters Pika's advantage. The way Pika's advantage works in Siege is that when you peek a corner, you see your enemy before the enemy sees you. If you've been playing Siege for any large period of time, you've likely conditioned yourself to shoot immediately to exploit the split second of unilateral vision you get by peeking. However, if the peeker spots an Alibi, it's a dilemma. Is it Alibi or is it decoy? Should I shoot? The answer can only be obtained by player movement and examining the gun she is wielding for any equipped attachments. That split second of hesitation Alibi forces in her enemies is how she completely counters and reverses Pika's advantage. The Pika now needs to guess if that is Alibi or if it's actually a decoy. This gives Alibi plenty of time to eliminate the opponent, which is how I get the kill here. Now, my victim has probably communicated to his team that the Alibi on the left is me, so I step off the decoy and bring it back up, deceiving the enemy team. If the Pika guesses the Alibi he sees is real when it's a decoy, and he shoots, he gets himself marked. Now when most players find themselves marked, they have an instinct to take cover, otherwise they become easy pickings for prowling defenders such as Kavira or Ella. That gives Alibi plenty of time to take the exposed decoy's place unseen, as I do here. Once bitten, twice shy. Jackal peeks again, and is cautious about the Alibi in his sight, giving me an easy shot to take him out. In your own games, make sure to check the cameras to get a sense of where the enemy is coming from and to position yourself accordingly. A quick word on spawn peeking with your decoys. You could do this, but it's usually not the best use of your gadget. Attackers always spawn in the same location. Consequently, they always have eyes on the building as they advance towards it. Even if one of them falls for your spawn peeking decoy, the remaining 4 will be on high alert, primed to take you down should you take the place of the decoy. If you are killed at this stage, it's not favourable trade even if you manage to get the kill that was spotted. Your decoy loses most of its effectiveness once you're dead, as the enemy knows any Alibi they see is fake. If you're going to spawn peek, stick to using your decoy to mark your enemies and refrain from risking your neck to get a kill. Get a friend to do the shooting for you, preferably with an operator like Rook or Jaeger after they've deployed their gadgets. Once you're done spawn peeking, remember to collect any decoys you've deployed so you can redeploy them near the objectives as demonstrated earlier. Now that we've thoroughly covered her gameplay, let's look at her guns. She has two options for her primary weapon. The first is the MX4 Storm. As far as defender weapons go, this is among the better ones with a base damage of 26 and a fire rate of 950 rounds per minute. This means that it takes 4 shots to kill 3 speed operators, and 5 shots to kill everybody else. The easiest gun to compare this to is the P90, which fires 20 rounds per minute faster but deals 5 less damage with each shot. The MX4 is superior to the P90 in every aspect except magazine capacity, where it has a standard magazine size of 30 rounds, 20 less than the P90. The vertical grip is indispensable on the Storm, though you can choose the optics and muzzle attachments at your preference. Moving on to our second option. The ACS-12 is an automatic shotgun with limited range. Using this gun just makes it easier for the enemy to pinpoint you from your decoys, as the decoy will always equip the SMG. The ACS-12 is certainly not worth diminishing the utility of your gadget, so take a cue from your decoys and stick with the SMG. For the secondary weapon, she again has 2 choices. Her first choice is a shotgun in a revolver package. It is no good for killing anything beyond point blank range, but is very effective at punching holes in walls. Sometimes you'll find this necessary to create better lines of sight for your decoy squad. In summary, think of it less like a gun and more of a sculpting tool. Her second sidearm is a revolver, the only revolver in the game that can equip a muzzle attachment. This is the only gun in the game that I'd recommend a silencer on, as even though with the reduced damage, it is still a 2-shot kill against all operators, regardless of their armor rating. On her secondary gadgets, she has 2 choices, 2 impact grenades or 1 deployable shield. Impact grenades are going to be a better choice most of the time for roaming and creating rotation holes, but deployable shields can be situationally useful in blocking a crucial window that otherwise sees heavy traffic. Deployable shields can also be handy for protecting the base of your decoys if furniture is hard to come by. That wraps up our guide on Alibi. Our next guide will explore which attackers have the best guns. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you won't miss it. As always, thank you for watching.